Hi, my name's Amanda. Today I wanted to talk to you about saving money during the pandemic. I know right now is a time of uncertainty, and most people are in the position of either being an essential worker or being unemployed due to the pandemic. So it is a time of uncertainty, and a lot of people, before going into the pandemic, already had problems trying to save money, living paycheck to paycheck. You're trying to save money, but it just wasn't working, and then the pandemic hits, and your wages could have been hit, you could be making less, and it's a difficult time right now to try to save money. So what I wanted to do was create a video on 5 easy tips on the best way to start saving money now. So let's get started. So number 1 is create a budget. That's the best thing you can do to start saving. If you take anything from this video today, just one thing, you're going to create a budget. Sometime this week, sit down, create a budget. I'll link the video I just did on creating a budget for you. That way you can, I'll link it somewhere up here, and that way you can take a look at that. It's a really quick, easy guide on creating a budget. If you'd like something more in depth, go ahead and leave a comment for me, and I'll go ahead and do something more in depth and really go into more budgeting. But that one's a easy beginners on looking at your expenses, your income, and sitting down and creating that budget so you can create your savings account. Number 2, create goals. So you want to create short-term and long-term goals. If you have a goal set in mind for what you're working towards, or what you want to do with that money, then it'll give you just something to work towards. That way you're not just oh, I want this, and you're not just going and spending the money on something. Oh, I'm saving that money for this. So create a goal, short term, something within the next 1 to 3 years. If you don't have any form of a savings account, create that short term goal so you can start putting away the savings account for emergency funds. Maybe you want to have a down payment for a car within the next couple years. So put away that money for a car. Do what's reasonable for you. If it's $10 a month, then it's $10 a month. But at least it's something that's going to your savings account. You're creating that fund for yourself, for something that you're going to need in the future. You can get that set up on something automatic, $10, $20 a month, whatever works for you. Then you need those long-term goals. So, what's 5-10 years down the road for you? What does that look like for you? Are you saving for retirement? Retirement's a big one. You don't want to wait till the last minute for that. Are you looking to buy a house? 5 years, 10 years down the line, you need a down payment for a house. So create those long-term goals, something you're working towards, and wrap your short-term goals into it. Don't make it look like, okay, I need $10,000, I need that in 5 years. Okay, that's a really big number to look at. It could be, overwhelming to see, okay, $10,000 in 5 years, how am I going to do that? Okay, so build your short-term goals into your long-term goals. If I need $10,000 in 5 years, what am I looking at short-term? How much do I need to put away each month or each paycheck so I can hit that long-term goal? So you can use your short-term goals to help support your long-term goals as well. Best way to do that. Number 3 is have an automatic transfer to your savings or to your investment accounts. This way it takes it automatically. It's not something you have to think about, doing when you get paid. You're not thinking about, okay, I need to move this over, or I need to grab that out in cash and put it aside. You don't want to have to think about what you're trying to save. If it's done automatically, then it's no longer in your checking account to spend for your expenses. It moves automatically. So what I do is every time I get paid, as soon as I get paid, my bank automatically transfers over a set dollar amount to my savings account. Then it's out of my checking account. I don't have to look at it. I don't put it in with my expenses. It's not included in anything for when I go to pay my bills. So automatic transfers are your friend. Number 4, cut costs. There are so many different ways that you can cut costs. If you don't have anything right now, you're paycheck to paycheck, then you can cut costs and use that amount to start including for your savings, to use that to budget for your savings. So for example, utilities, what's the best way to cut costs for utilities? Air condition. Do you need to run your air condition 24/7? Don't run it when people aren't home. Don't run it at 70 degrees. Lower it, raise it, depending on what suits you at home and what will help bring down your cost for electricity. And same with water. If you're renting or owning a home and you're watering your lawn 5 days a week, do you need to water it 5 days a week? You can cut down to 2 or 3 days a week. Don't water it for 30 minutes at a time. Set it for 2 to 3 minute intervals. That really cuts costs on your water, your electricity bill, when you shrink that time that everything is running. You can cut costs with entertainment. For example, cut cable. Do you need cable any longer? Are people even watching it at home? Do you have cable and you have movie apps, TV apps? You can get rid of some of those apps. Cut down to what you're using. If you have 10 apps and you're spending $10 on each app, that's $100 a month. That's a lot in savings you can do. If you cut down to only 2 or 3 apps, you can save $70, $80 a month by cutting down the apps that you're using. And a lot of those are set up on automatic payments, so you even forget that they're coming out. So if you cut those automatic payments and those memberships you have to the gym or those entertainment apps, then that's money that you can move directly to your savings or budget elsewhere that you need it budgeted elsewhere. Cut back on food costs. Make a list when you go to the grocery store. In my marketing class, I actually learned that people who shop with their kids spend 40% more than people who shop without their kids. So if you can, find a sitter. If your kids are old enough, leave them at home. If you can, find a sitter. Best thing to do is to go grocery shopping, make your list, go just yourself, and stick to your list. Please stick to your list. That way you're not spending, frivolous things. I know I love grocery shopping with my kids. They're 4 and 6 years old, and not a lot of people say that, but it's a fun outing that our family likes to do. And I've learned that we spend more money when my kids are running up to me asking to buy this, this, and this, and I end up being, okay, we can get this. Oh no, let's not get that. We can get this, and then I end up saying yes more than I end up saying no. So if you leave your kids at home, you won't have a lot of those questions or those things sneaking their way into the basket, and you can stick to your list a lot easier and cut costs there and stick to your budget for your food costs. Number 5, eliminate debt. So great tip from Dave Ramsey is to use the snowball method, is what he calls it. So when you're eliminating debt, start with the smallest debt first. If you have credit card debt, car payments, that's a lot that you can end up putting towards your savings, but instead you're spending $400 or $500 a month on debt, and that could go straight to your savings or other expenses that you need that for. So, if you have a $300 card and a $500 card, or a $500 car payment and your car is still, $6,000 out, start with the smallest expense first. If you have a card, it's a $25 a month payment and there's $300 left on that card, focus on paying that card. Pay the minimum payments on all your other debt, but focus on that smallest card first, that $300. Pay an extra $25, $50 on that card until it's paid off. Don't spend any more, and then set that card aside. Now, that one card is paid off. You have 3 other cards and a car payment towards. Focus on the next smallest debt, and now focus on that. Now you have $25 that you were paying a minimum payment on that card has freed up. Now you have an extra $25 a month you can spend on paying off another debt. And once that debt's paid off, you'll have an extra so many dollars you can use to pay off the next debt. So you can eliminate your debt systematically, starting with the smallest debt and working your way up to the largest one. That's the best way, I think, and Dave Ramsey has supported that as well, to pay off the smallest debt first up to the largest one, and then you can use that debt, once your debt's paid off, to put towards your savings, towards those larger goals you're looking towards. Okay, let me know in the comments if you have any videos you'd want to see or any other saving saving methods that you use and would like to share with others, go ahead and put them down in the comments. I'll see you next time. Bye.